It's your girl Tina with Real Talk Tina. I just want to thank you, all of you that are new and that are coming here for the first time, and also all of you viewers that have been here and subscribed and liked and shared and discussed my videos. I really appreciate it. I do want to do part two of the book Why Men Marry Bitches by Sherry Argov. I did part one. If you haven't seen it, flip back through my videos um, and see the video that I did a few weeks ago. I wanted to do part two, but I've been out of town and I've been busy. I'm also a Charlotte realtor in addition to a new YouTuber. But I have to be honest with you, that's my placeholder there. But I borrowed this book from the Charlotte Library and it has been seriously overdue. So I have to call them and apologize, and then I have to ask them if I can buy the book because I don't know if they're still charging me over. Do over fees, like late fees, stop ever at the library? Oh my gosh. I'm really embarrassed by that. I've never had a library that was this overdue. But I thought it was important to do part two. And instead of just rambling off Sherry's principles on relationships that she's listed at the end of the book, I decided that it would be important to also just kind of give an explanation on some of the things that she said, some of the things that are less self explanatory. So, with that said, I want to start with relationship number 73, principle number 73. Um, in life, the battle has to do with the lens you choose to see yourself through. Your fulfillment hinges on whether you can see yourself through a positive lens or a negative one. And that is so true. I just want to give a little bit more detail um, about changing the lens of which you see yourself. For example, Marilyn Monroe wrote when she was walking down the street with Joe um, DiMaggio. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Oh my gosh. She felt like she should walk on the inside of the curb and or that he should walk on the inside of the curb and she should walk in the gutter. She was an arguably beautiful woman, a legend, and even with all of her beauty and sex appeal, she had a nagging feeling that many nice girls share because of low self worth. Like an anchor is dragging them down in life. When choosing a wife, men notice whether you are happy or whether you feel good about yourself. So, oh my goodness. I mean, I didn't know, I have sparkles in my mouth, but I didn't know that Marilyn Monroe didn't feel pretty. I mean, we all just think of her as a sex symbol, this bodacious woman with such a awesome look and body that she could like nag anyone, like snag anyone, even married men, from JFK to Joe DiMaggio, you know? So um, that's unfortunate. I can't say that I have not been there, you know, going to a school where no one looked like me and no one was dating the black girl on the basketball team. Um, you know, I get made fun of for not being skinny, and I guess I carried that through, even though now I've worked as a plus size fit model. I mean, you know, I'm a realtor, I've done a lot of things in my life, and I would say that I think of myself as attractive. You know, I've had to overcome some of those stereotypes and maybe not being what was typically, you know, the standard of beauty that was acceptable in my environment. And I had to find it within myself to accept that I am beautiful. God didn't make any mistakes on me. And feel comfortable even when I've had years and years of guys telling me like they weren't interested in me, that I wasn't their type because I wasn't the popular choice, I think. It stuck with me for a very long time. And it's difficult still. So I can understand, I think, even supermodels and every model that I've ever known or known of has had a reputation of being very insecure. We forget that a lot of people look at them, a lot of people in the industry who have to go to auditions get torn apart. And even though these women mostly are looked at as the most beautiful in the world, if it's like a supermodel, they are highly insecure. They're always being judged. Um, on the other hand, I have always been, I would not say shy, and my friends would say, "You're kidding me if you would consider yourself shy, Tina." But what I didn't know and what I know now is that I'm I'm not shy. I'm an empath. And what that means is that even though I don't know that person, there's something I have that protects me against getting caught up with the wrong person. And for me, I thought that was shyness when I get around a guy who I don't know. But for example, I knew a guy that I dated, and every time that we dated, I would feel so uncomfortable around him. And I thought it was, and this happened a couple times with a couple different guys, but I thought it was because like, I really liked him, or I thought it was that he was really attractive, or that he had something going for him, you know, a number of things. But what I ended up finding out is those particular guys were actually not good guys for me. Um, and not only were they not good guys for me, they weren't being honest. They ended up having like another family in another state, or they were lying about being single. Um, and I felt very uncomfortable, but I didn't know why, right? So I blamed it on me and being like not secure, and it came off as insecurity to the point where one of those guys in the situation said, "Well, maybe you would be more secure if you lost weight." Because he said that I'm the most beautiful girl in the room, look around. And arguably I was. But I wasn't the thinnest, and he said maybe I should lose weight. Maybe I would feel more comfortable if I lost weight. Excuse me. And I didn't know what to say, but um, he was an asshole. But and maybe he's not wrong, but that was beside the point. The point was that he was lying to me, and I didn't feel comfortable with him that night in particular. Specifically, he was like touching the waitress and in an inappropriate way in front of me, and then he asked me to be his girlfriend. And I did not feel comfortable around him at all. And it was like we had been together for a few months, like seeing each other, and I still didn't feel comfortable with him. So don't second guess yourself. If you don't feel comfortable with someone after so long, it probably isn't you. I just want you to realize that, and I didn't know how to explain it, but I think it's so important to mention. So, that's one principle that Sherry Argov says in the book, Why Men Marry Bitches. But let's skip to another principle. To be, okay, to a man, this is principle number 47. to to a man, it is totally inappropriate to be emotional while talking about something important. When you speak calmly, he assumes it's much more important. I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. Um, However, it's I think people think that women are emotional, and it's what women do. But it is so important to be unemotional when talking about something important, even if you want to yell and scream, they don't hear it. Their minds are totally different than most women's, and it is important to write it down, to think it over, to really let some time pass if you need, and then explain something to your man in a even keeled manner. So I definitely agree with that. Um, let's see. Let's not do that one. Principle number 55. He doesn't want to marry a helpless little girl whom he will have to take care of. Ooh. What do you guys think about that? In this world, I think that men value attractiveness, and I think that women value security. So, I mean, I've heard of sugar babies and women who specifically go after men because they can take care of them. And it's saying in this book that men don't want that. So I've got conflicting opinions on that because there are groups and websites and dating sites dedicated to men who just want to take care of women and women who just want to be taken care of. Let's read what she says on this one. Um, okay, so that was number 55, principle number 55. Let's see what it says in the book about that. Sorry, I'm gonna need some time to flip to the page. Excuse me. Okay, I think I got it. Do, 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 do. Coming up. Okay, so principle number 55. The helpless or frail woman who can't make decisions will quickly turn him off in the bedroom, also. Although there is an exception to every rule, once in a blue moon, you'll come across a guy who wants a helpless wife or a little girl who will stay in the kitchen and bake cookies. This is why some men get a mail order bride. Of course, his drastic decision to marry a foreigner usually comes on the heels of a horrifying experience, like dating an American woman who used too many big words. So he swears off American women and runs off to a distant land to meet the bride of his dreams. Just as soon as he's done getting a few hair plugs put in, and it is pure bliss, just like they promised. You'll never hear about a messy divorce with a mail order bride. She stays until the green card comes. After that, she goes to the market to buy a quart of milk and is never seen or heard from again. Poof, she disappears into thin air like a mafia turncoat entering a witness protection program. So maybe principle number 55 is not about like being a sugar daddy or a sugar baby, but it is about a woman who doesn't have a backbone. She doesn't know how to make decisions or have a mind of her own, and she doesn't have the income or any security on her own without the man. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's ideal to have your own. It's okay to have the support of a man, but definitely it's important to have your own as well. Let's see. Let's jump to another principle. Ooh, principle number 75. He doesn't want to marry a woman who puts him on a throne. He marries a woman who is his equal. That special woman whom he can share all of his life's special moments with. Oof. A man who wants to feel like he is your hero. Men need to feel validated. Okay. He wants to feel that you admire him, look up to him, and that he is the protective one in the relationship. But he wants that from a self respecting woman who has a backbone and who, first and foremost, loves herself. So begin with changing your lens or sharpening your focus. Change the way you see yourself. Be careful of those who try to convince you of who you are, those men who try to convince you of who you are. If they can convince you that you are ugly when you are beautiful, that you are stupid when you are smart, that you are incapable when you are capable, they can convince you that you are not worthy when you really are. So don't believe what anyone tells you about yourself, I guess a man or a woman. When you do, and their view of you is negative, you lose feelings and your opinions. You become afraid to approach, afraid to be bold, afraid to pursue new heights. You become silent to everyone, including yourself. That's how you lose the most precious commodity you have to bring to a marriage, you. Before we end, I think it's important to do one last thing. Let's rewrite the fairy tale. So she's saying this in her book. Let's forget everything we learned in Cinderella. Sleeping Beauty, Dorothy, Toto, Land of the Oz, and let's give the fairy tale a little makeover. So she's saying the storybook ending like this. Once upon a time, there was a princess. Along came a prince who asked her if she liked to ride on his white horse. He said, I'd like to take a ride on your horse. She said that, but I can't right now because I'm a little busy. I got my own horse. Go ride off into the sunset without me, and I'll catch up to you a little later. Suddenly, the prince is dumbfounded. He never heard anything like this before. Something clicks inside of him, and it starts a fire within him that he cannot put out because he doesn't need him. She doesn't need him. And he says, I have to be with her for the rest of my life. And they fall in love and marry, and they live happily ever after. That's amazing. Let's see. He is testing to see if you believe in yourself. This is principle number 49. He wants you to know who is at the controls. When you aren't easily shaken, he sees this one can't be manipulated. Ooh. Ooh. What does she mean by that? So, a girlfriend named Renee has a great comeback she always uses with her boyfriend. Sometimes he'll call her in a crabby mood to avert a spat. She'll end the conversation in a cute way. She'll say, Have you eaten? You sound hungry. Go eat something and don't call me back until you have a full belly. It's sort of like the one where men say, Are you having PMS? Only it's affectionate rather than insulting. And the best part of it is it can be used as a defense to his crabbiness. during breakfast, lunch, dinner, and every hour in between. Hmm, that's interesting. Um, I guess I can understand that one. Very interesting. Principle number 52. When a man sees you are focused, focused on your own dreams or on elevating yourself, he feels safer marrying you because he doesn't worry about what you'll be trying to take away from him. Wow. Men more than ever are warming up to the idea that a woman who can contribute financially can be an important asset. He marries a woman who has depth. Men worry about making ends meet and what you do if he fell short of cash. I mean, I guess that's right. I mean, it's good. Not one person should be responsible for everything, but I want to be able to know that a man can hold that responsibility, especially if the woman is having kids or taking care of the kids, whether adopted or biological. So, I don't know. This video has gone on, look at my nails, for 20 minutes. And I think that concludes part 2 of Why Men Marry Bitches. Leave your comments below and let me know what you think. I'd be happy to respond. Please like, share, and subscribe.